Windows Registry hacks for speeding up your shutdown and startup. You can either follow me by going in here to your start menu. You should see a button on your keyboard that looks like this. Symbol here, it's the Windows key. If you want to hit that and the R key at the same time, it'll bring up the run command. Type in regedit, regedit, and hit OK. These hacks I'm going to take you through are going to basically guide you through. They're going to work for Windows XP, Vista, and Windows 7. I'm quite sure they'll also work on Windows 8 PCs as well. What I'd like you to do is go down to the second entry beneath computer, which is high key current user, expand down to control panel, and go and hit the space key or just click on it. And I want you to look for desktop. You're going to be looking for a key called menu show delay. The default value is roughly about 800 to 1000. Set it for 200. What this does is drastically cuts down your start menu come up whenever you hit the Windows key or click on it with your mouse. From the 800 millisecond delay to 200. It drastically speeds up your system and it definitely helps you out a lot. Another one I'm going to want you to change while you're here, it's going to be your hung app timeout. It's generally set for about 3000 or higher. I'm going to have you take that down to 1000. And the same is going to apply to one further down called wait to kill app timeout. It's this one right here. Double click on it, set it for 1000. Now there's going to be one that we're going to have you add in. It's called auto end tasks. So pay attention here. We're going to right click on this open space to the right of the field, and we're going to put in another string value and type in, make sure to have the first letter of every word I give you capped and there's no spaces. It's capital A, UTO for auto, capital E and lowercase nd for end, and capital T and lowercase asks for auto end tasks. Hit enter, double click on or hit enter on it and set to a value of 1. What this will do is it automatically kill the background processes that are usually running in the background from Windows startup, and this is usually meant for shutdown purposes so you don't get prompted as often or as much by all the processes that are running in the background. It will drastically help you speed up your system. Get out of there. We're going to actually go to high key current user, software, look for Microsoft, go to Windows. I usually like using the keyboard shortcuts, so using a W for Windows, it helps you get to your area a little quicker. Windows, current version, and look for a key called run. On mine, I don't have anything here, but most people will. Here you'll find things that are running concurrent with Windows startup. These are programs that are not necessary. Often they're optional. There are some that will come up that are necessary, such as device drivers, software associated with like your mouse pointer, your maybe sometimes a DVD player or something like that, graphics, webcam, whatever you have running. If it's not necessary, typically I usually remove it. What I like to do is I like to Google up the things that I'm usually removing personally. If it's something I'm unfamiliar with, usually things such as your Java updater, your Flash updater, your Adobe Reader updater, Google updater, Real Player updater. These are things that can usually get removed. If you don't have an iPad, pod, phone, then I would possibly get rid of any sort of iTunes things here as well, but that is something at your discretion. I don't recommend it if you use these items. And even if you do, you do have these items, keep them. If you don't, you can keep it as well. This is only one of the two sections that has all the things that run at Windows Startup. The other one being under high key local machine, software. Again, it's under Microsoft, Windows, current version, run. And here I have a couple programs. These are ones that I purposely have here. One of them is going to be the Microsoft Security Client. I use Microsoft Security Essentials. Both of these are acceptable. But again, take a look through the list, see what generally people do with these programs that are in your list, and simply by Googling it, and remove the ones that you don't use. So I tab back and get out of here. Next one, I'm going down to System underneath high key local machine, System, and go to Current Control Set Control. There's a wait to kill service timeout here. Generally it's set to about maybe 20,000. I recommend having it at 2,000, so make sure it's a 2,000 number value. This does help cut down services being closed out at Windows Shutdown. It's very beneficial. Make sure you do that for every control set you have that has that value. So if it doesn't have the value, don't worry about it. Some of the control sets, I've seen people with up to 40 control sets for some reason, and doesn't make sense to me, but it's not always there. Could have something to do with multiple users being, my system is a single user, so it's not a big deal. Being we're here, and after you change those values to 22,000, I'm going to have you expand control and go down to session manager and expand that and go down to memory management. And there's going to be some things we're going to have you change here. The top one should be clear page file at shutdown, disable paging executive. What I want you to do is set the disable paging executive, and this is a tweak that you should only use under certain conditions. Conditions are this: Windows XP systems have to have 512 megs of RAM or better. Windows Vista systems have to have 2 gigs of memory or better, and Windows 7 systems have to have 2 to 4 gigs of memory. These are the only cases I actually recommend using this hack. What this will do is it'll put the Windows core files that are typically thrown into your page file, a section of your hard drive that's treated as memory, into actual physical memory. Basically, it increases the response time, makes it run a lot smoother. And to enable it, just put 1 in that field. Doesn't matter if it's hexadecimal, decimals, the value is going to be the same, and hit OK. The other one we're going to do is we're going to change the paging file size. Many users are going to have this automatically set by you automatically. So what you're going to want to do is make sure it says this. If C is typically your Windows drive, put a C:// page file .sys and set it to a multiple of 1024. So if you have, say, generally the rule of thumb for a page file size is generally going to be 1.5 times the amount of memory you have. I have 8 gigs of memory, and generally a large page file is not practical when you have a lot of memory. So if you're around the 2 to 4 gig size, generally stick with maybe something that's about equal to that. But that's, go with what your gut feeling says. The general industry standard is 1.5 times. So if you got 2 gigs, set it for 3. So multiple 1024. So if you're not sure, pull up your handy calculator, do 1024 times, for my case, I'm just going to halve it down in half. So I'm only going to do 4 gigs, so that will give me 4096. So what I'm going to do is minimize that and set 4096. The first value you're going to set is for the minimal size it opens up at. Second size we're going to set is the same number. And this is the minimum and maximum, so it's going to come in automatically at one size. It's not going to expand or anything. The reason we do this is because it's going to cut down on fragmentation, so you have to do less system defragmentations because of the page file. Page files, when they come fragmented, do slow down your system. In fact, anything that's done really on your hard drive is going to slow down your system, which is why defragmenting is a very big thing for those who are big advocates of it. After you set those to the value that your system is required to have, for most people around 2 gigs, like I said, 1.5 to 1 times, equaling the value of your RAM or 1.5 times it. You can generally find that out by going down your Windows key here. Still want to open up your Start menu, right click on Computer and go to Properties, and it will tell you the amount of installed memory you have. It will be different for which version of Windows you have. XP will have a different setup. Vista will look similar to this, and this is a Windows 7. I have 8 gigs of memory, so I don't see the need to change, go anything above 4 gigs, because I don't do nothing too intensive. So after that's all set, hit OK. Do not hit the Enter key, because it'll only open up another line down here. So hit OK. The next one's going to require a little bit of work. We had the system properties over here. I'd take a look again at the processor you have installed. Google it and look for something called an L2 cache. You might have to go to your manufacturer of that processor's website to find this out. AMD Phenom 2 triple core processor has a 512K L2 cache per core. So it is a 1536. So what you do after you find out your value, set it to 15. You know, if I'm setting it 1536. It's going to value differently changed per processor. Generally, it's 512. So most people are going to have it sitting at about 1024. Make sure to have that set for decimal. If you have it set for hexadecimal, it's going to screw everything up. So 1024 on decimal, and hit OK. And then we're going to close this down, back everything out, and you're all done. Thank you for watching. I'll try to release these as often as possible. Subscribe if you're interested, and give it a thumbs up if you like it. If these hacks helped you out, kudos. I'll be releasing some more in the next month or so. They'll take you into further in-depth things to speed up your Windows system, especially the Windows startup and shutdown. Thank you for watching again, and have a good day.